Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to the new and improved Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. After many years of interviewing the best and brightest thought leaders around the world on my SiriusXM show, I am excited to now have those interviews available to people around the globe on this podcast. So many people would write us and say, I love what I've been hearing about your interviews with these great people. Where can I access them? I live in this country or that country, or I don't have access to that technology. How can I get the information? Well, I'm so excited now that we are able to offer the information and the interviews free on this podcast. So we want you to sit back and enjoy this message and let me know how you like them. And then do me a favor. If you like them, send a review, write a review and post it. And if you like it, hit like on here and share it and tell everybody you know about it, and then subscribe to this podcast so you'll get the alerts when we post a new interview episode. Thank you for listening and enjoy the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast.
Named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world.
Inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame.
Award-winning singer.
Best-selling author.
And now, here's Willie Jolley.
And yes, it's time. We have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. It's forced upon us. We can't refuse it. We didn't seek it. We didn't choose it. But it's up to us to use it. We must suffer. If we lose it, give account. If we abuse it, just a tiny little minute. But we must understand there's an eternity in each and every one of those minutes. And we got to make the most of every minute, every moment. And I'm grateful for this minute, this moment to be with you. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule today to listen to this program. I appreciate you and I'm grateful for you. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. And also thank you for sharing this with your friends and family members, telling people you gotta listen to this show. It will impact you. It will inspire you. It'll uplift you. That's all he's about, is helping people to find ways to create wealth, health, and wisdom. So that's all I got, and I'm going to go with it. And I hope you will continue to do what you've been doing, sharing it with your people in your network. Well, I'm grateful for also the fact that God gave me life and strength today. I'm grateful. You know, I take a moment at the beginning of every show to give God some glory, to thank him for life and strength and health. I'm grateful for all of the successes the shows have had, the podcasts have had, the books have had, the speaking has had, and all of the other things that I've had successes with. But I'm most grateful for life and strength and health. I'm grateful for family and good friends. So I am very, very focused on the fact that these are blessings, and that when you get a blessing, you ought to say thank you. So I say thank you and give God glory for that. Now, I also want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. We are grateful for our sponsors who have helped to make this show possible for you to be able to get it and to make sure you're able to share it. So I want to thank Truist Bank for being a great friend and sponsor. They're a new bank. You might, well, who is Truist? Well, there was a bank called BB&T. There was a bank called SunTrust, and they decided to merge. They call it a merging of equals. And they have created a new bank and a new brand called Truist, and that's Truist. And they have made a aggressive move into the banking arena to say to particularly the people in minority communities and so forth, that we are committed to seeing your success. So I am so grateful for their involvement. Go to Truist and look online, find one that's near you, and be involved with them. Also, my other exciting sponsor is one that I had to wait a year before I would endorse them, and that is Airpedic mattresses. Now, why did I have to wait a year? Because I wanted to make sure before I endorsed them that they work, that mattress works. See, I have had back problems for many years. I had herniated disc L5. As a result, I looked for a great mattress so I could get a good night's sleep. And I tried one, you got the one with the numbers, you pump up the bed, and I tried that. That was okay. But then it started to fail me after a while. I travel hotels a lot, and there's some hotel beds. I even bought one of the mattresses that they promote in a hotel. I tried that for a while, but that didn't work. And I tried this for a while, and it didn't work. And that, and I tried them all. And then I found out about this Airpedic 800. And I said, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. But I'm not going to talk about it till I know it works. And I waited a year of sleeping on it. And let me tell you, it's the real deal. The best bed I've ever had. And so I want to encourage you to go to airpedic.com. It was created by a chiropractor. Airpedic, P-E-D-I-C, Air, A-I-R, Pedic.com. Look for any of their mattresses, but I got the 800 series. And if you decide on getting one of their mattresses, if you put in the code WJ800, WJ800, you will get a discount. So I want to thank our sponsors, and I want to thank you. Now, my guest today is one of the smartest guys I've ever been around. He is a Hall of Fame speaker. He's been rated one of the top 15 highest rated speakers for virtual events. He is a top 50 sales keynote speaker. He's a top 25 most influential sales leader. He's a certified speaking professional, a best-selling author, Inc. magazine Entrepreneur of the Year finalist. His name is Sam Richter, and he's a part of the National Speakers Association. And as I said, we are peers, we are buddies in the Speakers Hall of Fame. And I am always impressed when I'm around him because he's so smart and he helps you understand technologies and how to grow your businesses and your wealth with ideas that blow my mind. Every time I talk to him, I'm like, wow, this guy is coming up with new and incredible ideas. He's a speaker and author of the book, Take the Cold Call Out of Cold Calling. And that's primarily one of the things we're going to talk about a little later, because he's created a technology that does that. It takes the cold calling out of cold calling, and he creates ways for you to feel like you can get to anybody. He is one of the most profound, incredible speakers and thinkers I have met. His name is Sam Richter. He lives in Minnetonka, Minnesota. With his wife and 2 children, and he is a world changer. Sam Richter, thank you for being with me, my friend.
Wow, I am so honored, Willie. That was probably the nicest introduction I've ever had. I was sitting there just so entranced with your opening. I could listen to that all day long.
Oh, man, you're a kind man. You're a kind man. Well, I gave him the thumbnail sketch of who you are, what you do. You're a world changer, but tell us a little more about where you come from or what your story is.
I'll give you the quick background. So, I always wanted to be in television journalism, is what I started out as. And so I have a journalism degree from the University of Minnesota. While taking classes there, I got really involved in advertising and really fell in love with advertising and had the opportunity to work for one of the top advertising agencies in the world at the time, a place called Fallon McElligott, now known as Fallon, and had some amazing mentors there. So I thought that was going to be my career. Well, fast forward a few years, and I started my own ad agency. And all of a sudden, I had to go out and sell. Now, one of the things I loved about advertising, Willie, is even though I'm a professional speaker by nature, and what I'm about to say, by the way, is not that uncommon.
Okay.
And that is that I'm a severe introvert. So getting in front of 20,000 people, no problem. Going to the networking event before or after the meeting, big problem. Now, I know that's the exact opposite of you. You know, you love to be on stage, you love to network.
I love all of that. I love the interaction. You're right. But my wife is an introvert, so I really do understand.
So you get it. So all of a sudden, before I'm a writer, I get to basically sit in a closet all day and write advertising copy. Well, now that I have my own firm, I have to go out and sell and talk about a massive failure, because part of selling is you have to actually interact with other people. That's one of the deals.
Yeah, you got to do that a little bit. Yeah. Got
it a little bit, and I was terrified, right? First of all, I was young, mid-20s, and I'm meeting with CEOs of successful companies, and now I have to talk. So one of the things I learned early on, and it's probably by reading one of the best business books ever written, and I think you might agree that a lot of us who have written books have based some of our concepts on this book, and that's How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Absolutely.
By Dale Carnegie.
By Dale Carnegie.
And Carnegie talks about that the sweetest sound in the English language is the sound of someone's name.
Right.
Well, one of the things I did, and it worked, now this is obviously pre-internet, I would show up for a meeting 10, 15, 20 minutes before the meeting, and maybe because I was young and maybe because the world was more innocent at the time, I would talk to the reception. Usually I'd be led up to the CEO's office. There'd be a receptionist or somebody I'd be able to talk to.
Right.
And I'd ask that individual question. Hey, tell me a little bit about your company. Tell me about your boss. Tell me about some of your strategic initiatives. Hey, what are some of the fun things you have going on? And again, maybe because I was young, maybe it was more innocent time, people would freely share that information. Well, I'd go meet with the boss, and I would repeat some of what I knew and talk about the other person, really. And there'd usually be a little bit of silence. Hey, how do you know all that? Well, I like to do my homework. But what I found was by knowing something about the other person, I was able to really gain their trust.
Yep.
Ask challenging questions, build a relationship, because I showed that I cared.
Yes.
And fast forward a little bit. So now, I've left advertising. Now I'm doing PR, working for a major PR firm, managing huge accounts. Then I got into digital marketing when the internet came out, worked for one of the largest digital firms in the world. And then had an opportunity to go lead a business research organization, a nonprofit organization, actually, where our job was to digitize the world.
Wow.
Digitize the world of business information.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that. But all these, during that time, I always came back to knowing about the other person and really trying to understand what they care about. Well, now that I'm working in business research, now the internet's come out, and I've learned a lot of these techniques, I started to realize that a lot of the questions that I used to ask the receptionist, I could find out on my own.
Wow.
By doing mathematical queries into search engines like Google. And that kind of was an aha moment for me. All of a sudden, I could take this introvertedness, if you will, that I had, sometimes fear of meeting with executives and other people, and all of a sudden I'm able to turn that into, I guess, really reverse it.
Right.
And take that fear, take that unknown, take that frankly lack of confidence. And what I found is when I knew something about another person, not only was I more confident, I was excited.
Right.
Because I would find something that I knew the other person really, really cared about, and we would talk about it. Well, what was interesting is I actually sold a lot more services. I sold a lot more solutions. Now, I'd love to tell you that I was practicing and implementing these techniques because I thought it was a brilliant sales strategy. The reality was I was implementing these techniques because I was terrified to talk to people.
Right.
But again, what I started to find was I would sell a lot more. And here's the interesting thing, Willie. I had a lot more fun. I was no longer nervous. When you know something about another person and they may not know that you know it, it's fun because you don't state the information, and we can talk about this in a little bit, where you don't state what you find as facts. You use it to ask great questions.
Right. And
you engage with people. And it's just a lot more fun.
Absolutely. And as our friend Harvey McKay says, is that he built his business on learning as much about his client as he could. His father taught him about the impact of networking and creating relationships. And he built a massive envelope company and became one of the top speakers as well as one of the best-selling authors of all time because he focused on finding out about other people, their families, their names, their birthdays, their loves, their wants, and then after that, creating relationship. We're going to take a quick break. I got Sam Richter, who's going to tell you how to grow your success by growing your ability to connect with people as well as your wealth by making decisions that keep you in the forefront of their mind. This is Dr. Willie Jolley of the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show. And for sure, your best is yet to come.
Afraid of flying, I always kept my dreams on the ground. Life had enough But Lord, since I met you, all that's changed in the blink of an eye. Now all my heart wants to do is fly. You put wings on my dreams and overcame my fear of heights.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered why some people can make $1 million, lose it, make a second million, lose that, then make a third million, while other people can't even make ends meet? Well, the reason is that those people know the recipe for success. And that recipe is available to everyone if you will do what they did. They made a habit of getting positive, motivational resources of great thinkers and great learners. And I want to offer those same kind of resources to you. We've developed a free page on my website. It's wjspeaks.com/gift. wjspeaks.com/gift. On that site, we've got resources, books, audios that help you to grow, and they're free. So go to wjspeaks.com/gift, wjspeaks.com/gift, and get some of those resources, and then share that page with your friends and your family members. We want to impact and inspire millions of people. And remember, if you enjoy this message on this podcast, like it, share it, and post a review about it, and make a difference in the lives of others by letting them know about it. Have a great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
A to the D to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. A to the T to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude.
And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show, and I am grateful for my special guest, Sam Richter. He's a Hall of Fame speaker in the National Speakers Association Speakers Hall of Fame. I'm honored to be in that same Hall of Fame, and we have people in that Hall of Fame like General Colin Powell, Les Brown, and so many others, Harvey McKay. And so we are grateful to be in that group, and now we are able to share with others some of the life lessons and intel that we've created or learned in our lives that will help you to have greater personal and professional success. How many of you really want to have a great, successful business venture or create wealth in your lives? Well, there are things that others have done, have learned, have used that you can use. So you don't have to recreate the wheel. And these lessons are going to help you. So I want you to take out a pad, a pen, a piece of paper, your iPhone, your iPad, and take some notes. Also, make sure that you go to my website, winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com. Write that down at the top of your pad, win, W-I-N, with Willie, W-I-L-L-I-E.com, and sign up for my newsletter, because I'll send you a free 1-minute video every morning, Monday through Friday, that will inspire, encourage, uplift, empower you, particularly in these challenging times, how to help you to win more. I want more people to win. We want more millionaires, billionaires, and success stories. So my guest, Sam Richter, has been helping people to win for many years, first in the advertising agencies, and then in digital marketing, and then he started speaking. Let's talk about how you went from those businesses to become a speaker, Sam, and how you built this very successful business.
Well, it was kind of just things fall into place, right? I mean, earlier you were talking about Harvey McKay.
Yes.
And Harvey, so, now all of a sudden I'm running this research organization, and Harvey reached out to me, and I think his words were something along the lines of, hey, I hear you're the guy that automates the McKay 66. So the McKay 66, for those who don't know, is Harvey's 66 things you need to know about another person. And obviously, Harvey wrote this back in the 70s before the internet even existed. And so Harvey, fast forward, all of a sudden Harvey's like, hey, will you come speak to my company? Will you come speak with me? And so all of a sudden, Harvey would get up and talk, give his amazing motivational program, introduce the McKay 66, and then it would be, hey, I'm going to introduce this guy to you who can automate finding 50, 60, 63 of the things before you even walk in the room. Because where Harvey's, to fill out his form of 66 might have taken you 3 months of conversations.
Right. That's right. And let me say to people, Harvey McKay actually gives those questions, I think on his website, those 66 questions that tell people how to get real depth information. Now, Sam has automated it, but that was a powerful tool that many of us in sales who decided we were going to be in the business would use Harvey's tools to help us to win more business. Go ahead, Sam.
Well, in a crazy thing, Willie, here's what's nuts, because you and I both been around for a while.
Right.
Everything I'm teaching from a theoretical standpoint isn't new. Like I said, it's come from Dale Carnegie in the 1920s. But it's this concept that understand the other person and what they care about. Well, if you think about salespeople today, I don't want to say they're lazy, but some of them are kind of lazy. Right. The number of people that don't do their homework today. I mean, you're a best-selling author. You're a Hall of Fame speaker. How many times have you received a phone call, an email, a LinkedIn conversation where somebody says to you, Willie, as a best-selling author, have you ever thought about taking your content and turning that into a speech? It's like, hey, just Google me.
Right. I got one the other day. The lady said, would you like to be on radio?
Yeah, exactly. So it's amazing to me how people don't do their homework today. And as we talk about winning, if I could just drill into every listener's head that if you want to differentiate yourself, and this is going to sound so simple, but I don't remember which one of our peers said this, so I'm going to butcher the quote, and I'm not going to take credit for it, but it's something along the lines of, what I'm about to say is so common sense, but it's not commonly implemented.
That's right.
And that is just show genuine interest in the other person, genuine, authentic interest in the other person. Learn what they care about, and then figure out, can your solution help them achieve what they care about?
Say that one more time. You got to say that. Folks, if there's anything you should write down what he's saying right now. Say it again, Sam.
You got it. Figure out what the other person cares about, what they genuinely care about. And then figure out, does your solution help that person achieve their goals, what they care about, a little faster, a little bit more efficiently, a little bit more effectively than they might be able to do on their own? And that's where the sale occurs. And with the beautiful thing, sales has this negative connotation. Oh, I'm going to convince somebody to buy something they don't want. No, I think it's one of the most noble professions out there.
Absolutely.
Because what you're doing is you're helping somebody else achieve their goal.
Or as Zig Ziglar said so wonderfully, if you help enough other people get what they want, you will get everything and anything that you want.
That's exactly correct, and that's the essence of sales. I mean, I'm not. If you think about this concept, it's really. If I want a great cup of coffee, I go to a Starbucks, and they help me get coffee more efficiently than I might be able to do on my own. All the way to a super complex sale, you're selling a network computer system to a company. Well, they don't want a network computer system.
Right.
What they want is a system that allows their employees to have one simple log-on where they can print, scan, store, and nowadays access all that content remotely. If you know that going in, then you're not selling. What you're doing is you're sharing stories, and we all like to tell stories.
Yep.
We're sharing stories on how we've helped other people achieve similar goals.
Or as Tom Wininger, I believe, is Tom from Minnesota as well, or Wisconsin? I don't remember.
Tom Wininger, yeah, he lives probably 10 miles from me.
Tom Wininger taught me years ago when I was a brand new speaker. He said, if you go to the home improvement store or the equipment store, and you say, I want a Black & Decker drill. He said, you really don't want a Black & Decker drill. What you want is a hole. You just want the best one that will make the hole for you. Always realize what the end product is that people really, really want. They want a hole. They want a tool that help them. And if you can give them a tool to help them get to their end, you're going to win more. Am I right?
That's exactly right. And again, what used to take maybe weeks or months of conversation, with some simple equations in Google, you can oftentimes find that information, or at least get enough information where you can ask those challenging questions and pull that information out of your prospect, out of your client, and really put your sales efforts, your business development efforts on steroids. And by the way, I keep using the phrase sales. You know, maybe some of your listeners out there are saying, well, I'm not in sales. Well, really, have you ever hired somebody? Guess what? You're selling your company. Have you ever applied for a job? You're selling yourself. Have you ever gone to a bank? You're selling your vision to a banker or an investor. We're all selling, and these techniques will work in all of those venues, if you will.
Amen. Amen. And you have created a way to do it on steroids, and something that the average Joe Set, the average person can use right from home on their computer to find their particular prospect or avatar, as we say, and to be able to reach them in an amazing way. Let's talk about how you've created this new technology.
Sure. So, you know, as I go all over the world and speak and you know, teach this in a motivational, inspirational way, I realized that, well, really the genesis was I realized that there were some companies that just couldn't afford me. And so, like a lot of speakers, like you've done, you know, you put your content in an online format, a university, if you will.
Yes.
And you know, I had a bunch of people, and it was where we all get our great ideas, Willie's in the shower, right? So I'm in the shower, and I'm thinking, what new videos should I shoot? And I thought, you know what? Nope. Kind of like your Tom Winninger thing. Nobody wants a new video. What they want is just the answer. You know, nobody wants a drill. They want the hole. Nobody wants another video. What they really want is just get me the answer.
Right.
So I thought, I wonder if I could build a tool. It's not really a search engine. Think of it as a search engine overlay. So instead of teaching you how to do a 30-word Boolean mathematical equation, you could just go in, type in one word, click a button, and I can augment that. I can add the 30-word equation based on what you're looking for automatically and deliver you those results. And it's what's called the sales intel engine. It's not an engine.
Well, why don't you, first of all, I've seen it, folks. It's the most amazing thing I've seen. I have used it, and I have gotten it for my team. But why don't you tell the story about your daughter? That's the best example I can think of.
Sure. So my daughter graduates the University of Missouri, graduates number one in her she's student of the year in her department. And in January 2020, we're sitting here thinking, okay, she's going to have her pick of jobs because she had some amazing internships, great experience, wonderful kid. She's going to have her pick of jobs in May. Well, we know what happened between January and May, so my daughter graduates at the worst time in history to be job hunting. She wants to get into marketing in the fashion industry, specifically wants to live in New York. Good luck with that. So she does what everybody does at the school. You know, they tell her, hey, log into LinkedIn and find people in the fashion industry that might give you an informational interview. So she did that. I think she sent out 100 messages, got back the grand total of 0. I said, do this. Go into my search engine. I want you to type in the location field. So she's in the biz people search area. In the location field, type in New York. In the industry field, type in fashion. In the job title field, type in the word chief. So every result will be a chief marketing officer, chief executive, chief operations. Now, my daughter was a Zeta Tau Alpha sorority member. So then I said, in the add phrase field, just type in Zeta Tau Alpha. Boom, she clicked the button, and in seconds, she pulls up a list of probably 40 people with the job title chief executive, chief operating, in the fashion industry in New York who were Zeta Tau Alphas. She sent out 4 notes, got back 4 responses, had 1 interview, got a job.
Wow.
Because she was talking about something. Instead of calling and saying, hi, my name is Maddie. You've never heard of me before. Can I get an informational interview? Right now she calls and says, hey, I'm Maddie. I'm a sister from Zeta Tau Alpha who just graduated from the University of Missouri. Do you think you might be able to give me just a few minutes of your time? Because when you talk about something that you know the other person cares about, you're really likely to get a response. Most people like to help other people.
That's right. If you can get into their wavelength, if you can get on what's in it for them and what they're all about, then you start to win. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show, and I've got more pull out on how you're going to grow out and go out and make wealth part of your routine. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I got an email from a gentleman in Australia who shared how he had been struggling in his business, and he bought some of my books and audios, and how it had a profound impact on his business, and he went from worst to first in his company. I shared with him how much I appreciated his note, but I told him those books, those audios, those videos were not just something that I just thought up one day and started to write. They were born out of my experiences, out of the challenges of overcoming the problems and the difficulties and how I was able to do it. And I shared with him that others have sent similar messages and that these resources work. I want to encourage you and invite you to go to my store. Go to wjspeaks.com/shop. wjspeaks.com/shop. Get some of the books. It only takes a minute to change your life. Or a setback is a setup for a comeback. Or turn setbacks into greenbacks. Or chicken soup for the soul. Or an attitude of excellence. Or the book I wrote with my wife after 34 years of being married and not having an argument in over 30 years. We wrote a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, and now it is saving marriages all over the globe. Go to the store, get some of the audios, the videos, the books, the resources to help you have greater personal and professional success. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Make this a great day on purpose. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show. I don't know whether you're listening on the radio or whether you're listening on the podcast. If you're listening on radio, know that it now is also available on podcasts on iHeartRadio, C-Suite Radio, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts. Just look up the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. And if you're on podcast, know that it's on radio. And so we've got many ways that we can reach you. And we are looking and growing and expanding in even new ways. But you can always make sure you know about these if you follow me on all the social media. Instagram, The Real Willie Jolley. Facebook, Willie.Jolley. On Twitter, @WillieJolley. And then go to my website. We have a new landing page, winwithwillie.com. Winwithwillie.com that has all my websites. My business website, my personal website for people who want to grow their personal business, my youth website, my faith-based website, the Jolly Marriage website. We got all these, and you can get my products, and I recommend you get my box. In fact, if you go to williejolly.com/box, that's a secret page where you can get a big discount on my box, the Wow Box, to help you grow your faith, your finances, and all my products are in that box. Books, CDs, DVDs, PBS specials, all of the above, music, everything's in there, and it will grow your success. WillieJolly.com/box. Well, Sam Richter is an internationally recognized expert on digital information, considered the father of modern day sales intelligence, and that's the truth. His award-winning experiences have including building innovative programs for startup companies, and some of the world's most famous brands also use him. He is someone who's helping small business, big business. He's helping companies grow their success and their sales, and he wants to help you. And I asked him, I said, Sam, would you do something for my listeners? Would you give them some sort of deal? I need them to have a deal. So Sam, tell them where they can reach you and what kind of deal you got for them, because I want them to have a good deal.
Oh, great. Well, first off, I'm pretty easy to find. If you couldn't find me by just going into Google and typing in Sam Richter, Richter, then I'm no good at what I do, right? So pretty easy to find. Of course, you can go to my website, samrichter.com. What I've done, Willie, is I like deals to be free. So I've done a couple things. One, I've created a guidebook. It's a 30-page step-by-step instruction manual on how to find people, industries, companies. It's basically the notes from my 4-hour program. Step-by-step instruction manual. Normally I sell it. All of your listeners get it for free.
Wow.
Plus, I've got this sales intel engine that we've talked about. It basically automates a lot of what I'm talking about. Again, it's a search engine overlay. So think of it as a distraction-free search tool. What normally, even if you knew how to do it, would take you 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 10 minutes, 2 hours, you can do by typing in one word, clicking a button, get the answer. I'm making that available for 7 days. So when you log into the engine, make sure over on the left-hand side, you click on the, it's called the Sales Intel reference guide, and that's the guide I was just talking about. You can click on that, download it, print it, and then also use the Intel engine. And then if you want to upgrade on the Intel engine, you'll get an email from me. You'll get a really nice discount on that.
Well, let me make sure people know how to get that 7-day deal. What do they do to get that?
You got it. So they get the 7-day deal, they get the Intel reference guide, and they go to www.sam1234.com/WJ. So you can't type that into Google. You just got to go into the web address, type in sam1234.com/WJ. It'll take you to a page where you can sign up. It's, like I said, completely free. Download the Intel guide. Use the engine. If you like the engine, you'll get an auto email from me giving you an incredible offer on that as well if you want to continue. If you don't want to continue, hey, you get the Intel guide at no charge, and you'll love it.
You're going to want to continue, particularly if you're in sales or if you are in a small business and you want to reach people and you don't know how to reach them, and you've got some specific folks who will help you grow your business, but you don't know how to contact them. You're not getting any headway by just Google, put them in Google. He has this overlay that will help you to find them. It's amazing. It's amazing. I can attest. It's amazing. Go to sam1234.com/WJ. It will get you going and get you growing. All right, Sam. So, look, you've been on stages all over the world. I got to ask you a question before we think, because they're going to go to the website and they're going to see a picture of you. And then they're going to see more pictures of you. And every picture of you, you will have a blue shirt on. Please tell people why you have a blue shirt on. Every time I've ever seen you, you had a blue shirt on.
Well, it's the embarrassing guy story. So a dear friend of mine, Roshini Rajkumar, she's a speaker in Minneapolis, and she talks about personal branding, mainly to executives. Roshini sits me down. She says, Sam, you're going to look great in a royal blue shirt and dark pants. I said, really? I said, sport coat? She said, nope, you're a technology speaker, no sport coat. I said, great. So what does any guy do? He goes to a store. He finds a blue shirt that he likes, and it fits really well. And then what do, Willie? I'll take 10 of those. And then I say, I found a couple of pair of pants. I'll take 10 of those. Black pair of pants, a blue shirt, throw them in the suitcase. I'm ready to go.
You know, I think Mark Zuckerberg has made that kind of in vogue because of his hoodie, really into knowing that that's the reason why. Well, that makes sense. Okay, look, let's talk about what you talk about. You are one of the top sales intel speakers on the planet. You have helped so many companies to grow their wealth by growing their sales, and everybody knows that sales are synonymous with growing your business. So tell them what you tell them and just go to work.
I'll give you a couple of easy tips and then how you would apply them. The first one is anytime you're searching for a proper noun, name of a person, name of a company, even a job title, make sure you put that search within quotation marks when you're in any search engine. So if I go in and I'm looking for Willie Jolley, if I just type in Willie Jolley, now you're famous, so you're going to come up number one. You've done a good job of, for lack of a better term, personal search engine optimization. But in general, what happens when you type in two words into a search engine is you're telling the search engine that both of those words must appear somewhere on the page, but not necessarily in any order. So I might get a bunch of results on Willie Smith who's having a jolly good time. Both of those words have to appear somewhere on the website, but not in a particular order. But if I put in Willie Jolley in quotation marks, I'm going to get you every single time.
I never knew that. Sam, in all this time, I never knew that. I wondered why sometimes when I'm searching for something, if I put it, I get the first one or the second. Now I know why. Put them in quotation marks. Great. That's good to know.
So another one that I think you'll love is the minus sign. The minus sign actually removes bad search results. And a story I tell in my presentation is with my son Cameron. So Cameron goes to the University of Missouri, and his history teacher says, Cameron, I want you to write a report on the Vikings, the guys from Norway from 500 years ago with the big boat. Well, Cam does what any kid does. He fires up Google, he types in the word Vikings, and of course, what does he get? 20 million, 200 million search results on the never in my lifetime Super Bowl champion Minnesota Viking football team, because that's just the way my world works. Well, he doesn't want that. He wants guys from Norway. So he could do Vikings, Norway, boats, swords. Or here's a little trick. Anytime you get a bunch of search results. You're like, geez, this is close, but not exactly what I want. If there's a common word in there, in this example, football, if you attach a minus sign to the word, so no space after the minus sign. So if you go into Google, type in Vikings, minus football. Attach the minus sign to the F in the word football. Any search engine will remove all of the results with that word in it. This will work when you're searching your email, your computer. It's a massive time saver.
Say it one more time so make sure people get it. Vikings
minus football. And if you got to attach the minus sign to the F. So, for example, let's say that there's another guy. He's a psychologist in Peoria, and his name's Willie Jolley. But every time I go into Google, I get Dr. Willie Jolley, because you're famous. Well, that's annoying me. I want the guy in Peoria. I'll go in. I'll type in Willie Jolley within quotation marks minus doctor. So minus DR. Make sure the minus sign touches the DR. Now, all of a sudden, every result will be another Willie Jolley and not the Dr. Willie Jolley.
Oh.
So that's an example of the minus. And then another one, this is actually a website that I've built. Most of our listeners have heard of Google News. And Google News is great, but it misses a lot of smaller newspapers or industry publications. So I've built a website. Now, you have to go to the web address and type this in. If you go to Google and type this phrase in, you'll find it. But to actually access the tool, and it's completely free, it's called You Got the News, YOUGOTTHENEWS, YouGotTheNews.com. It'll pull up it's completely free. You don't have to register or anything. You can type in a person's name, a company name, choose the date range you're interested in, and there are a number of different buttons. You can pull up major newspapers. You can pull up more news, which will do smaller newspapers, trade journals, press releases. So in preparation for this interview, that's what I used on you.
Wow.
So I found some great information on you, and I can share it. Now, because now you might be thinking, okay, this is really cool. How do you use this without people thinking you're some kind of a weird stalker? Let me share with you what I share, the phrases that I share on stage.
Okay.
And this is what I do in real life, too. And it might go something like this. So, hey, Dr. Willie, before I meet with people, I like to do a little bit of homework. You're a busy person, and I don't want to waste your time. Well, what have I just done? I've completely differentiated myself from probably every salesperson you've ever met with.
Right.
Wow, somebody did their homework. Well, that's refreshing.
Right.
Now, when we set up the meeting 3 weeks ago, let's say I sell insurance. You're like, oh, sure, I'll meet with an insurance person. When you saw my name on your calendar for an 8 o'clock Zoom call or coffee, what was going through your head? Why did I do this? I don't have time for this. I've got a radio show to produce. I've got big plans that I'm working on. I don't have time to meet with an insurance. Oh, it's an 8 o'clock coffee. I can't cancel. So here's the next magic phrase. So, Dr. Jolley, before I meet with people, I like to do a little bit of homework. You're a busy guy. I don't want to waste your time. And guess what I found? What happens? What do you think happens when I say that to you, Willie? And guess what I found?
I'm intrigued.
I have your attention, right?
That's
You're intrigued. You're like, what did I find?
Yep.
That's what I found. Now, what I'm looking for is something of interest. Well, I'll start it out with a quote from who I heard it from was a dear friend of mine, Phil Sterling, who is a wonderful sales expert in his own right. And I don't know if he wrote this or borrowed it from somebody else, but it's, in today's world, you cannot just be interesting. You also have to be interested.
That's right. That's right.
And
that's right.
That's the key. Instead of saying, what's it like being a professional speaker, or congratulations on your radio show, or congratulations on being a best-selling author, because that's the obvious stuff.
Right.
I might say to you something like this. And guess what I found? Hey, in my research, I found that you were not just a jazz singer, but an award-winning jazz singer in the early 80s. Willie, I got to ask you, and then I use a various phrase of, can you tell me about this? So for you, it might be something like, can you tell me a little bit? Like, I just got to know, what did you learn as a award-winning jazz singer that's helped you become a Hall of Fame speaker?
Wow. Hold that thought. This is so good. This is so good. Folks, you're listening to my friend Sam Richter on my show here, the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show. We've got more, and it's going to blow your mind. Stay tuned, because your best is still yet to come.
Pick up the phone and just
Friendship is not about being convenient. It's about being committed and consistent.
You can call on me
When you need me,
call me. You can call on me.
call me.
You can call on me.
Pick up the phone
You can call
and call me.
Call me.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech. And I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. And there's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went, and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friend said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and will help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come.
Motivated, gonna take it to the top. Motivated, highly motivated. Motivated, I'm never gonna stop. I had a job I really hated. It made me sick, but it got me motivated. I knew that this was not where I was meant to be. I didn't want to stay, but I was too afraid to leave. Then one day I got my check, there was almost nothing there. I went to the cross, he laughed and said...
And we're back. Dr. Willie Jolley with my special guest, Hall of Fame speaker, best-selling author, and world-renowned digital information expert on sales intelligence, the father of modern-day sales intelligence, Sam Richter. Sam, you were telling us about how you can get people's attention, how you can get them to want to do business with you by learning something about them, and you've got a tool to help do that. And you were telling them about me, the fact that I'm a former full-time jazz singer. Now I do it as a avocation, not as a vocation. I can do it whenever I want to. Anyway, but the fact that you knew something about me got my attention. You got my interest, and I was more interested and more apt to do business with you. Tell us more about those.
Now, when I found that information about you, that you are an award-winning jazz singer. As a kid, I used to sit and play guitar for hours. Like, it would have been my dream to be a rock star, and now I'm in front of somebody who's actually a rock star. I'm really interested in your story. Now, again, let's say I'm selling life insurance.
Yes.
If I'm meeting with you for an 8 o'clock coffee, how quick do you want to get me out of that coffee shop or Zoom call?
Absolutely. You want to get it out fast.
But if I can talk about you and, hey, I know we're pressed for time, but what's it like being on stage? That's so, as a singer, tell me about that. How cool is that?
Absolutely.
And then you talk Now, here's something that's going to happen, and it happens almost every time. About 20 minutes in, after you've done talking about yourself, you're going to look at me, and you'll say something along these lines. Oh, Sam, I'm so sorry. I've been doing all the talking. Can you tell me a little bit about you and how you might be able to help us?
Right.
It'll be some form of that.
Yep.
Which, again, that's my goal. Because if we get back to my introvertedness, which we were talking about earlier, I'm terrified of trying to convince you something.
Right.
But ask me how I can help you. Well, I can talk about that all day long.
Wow.
And so that's what we're trying to do here. Now, again, I want to be really clear to our listeners. We're not using what I'm teaching you to manipulate other people. You have to be genuinely and authentically interested in other people. But I believe that most of your listeners are. I mean, they're not going to be listening to your show, Willie, if they didn't care. So they already have that DNA.
They want more. The people who listen to this show are people who've made a commitment that they are willing to work on themselves because they know the best way to grow their future is grow themselves. The best way to grow their organization, grow their people. And they know that self-help and motivation and growing yourself correlates with making more money. So they have made a commitment that they're serious about growing themselves and growing their wealth. So you're a perfect person to be here to help them figure out how to do that by sales intelligence.
That's right. And again, I want to reinforce everything I'm sharing with you. It'll work in a sales call. It'll work when you're interviewing an employee, when you're being interviewed yourself, when you're talking to a venture capitalist, when you're talking to a banker, a potential board member. Heck, if you're going out on a blind date,
absolutely,
you'll have a better time. Now, you got to be careful on the blind dates about being a little bit spooky. Hey, I was on your Facebook page for the last 3 hours and I spied on you. That would be a little weird.
Yeah.
But that's another really important thing that I talk about. Is two things that we got to make sure all of our listeners remember. Number one, just because it's online doesn't necessarily mean that it's factual. Doesn't necessarily mean right. So you don't use what you find to state fact.
Okay.
You use what you find to ask a better question. So, Willie...
Say that again. You don't use what you find to state a fact, but to be able to ask a better question. I love that.
Question. You got it. So I don't say, hey, Willie, I see that you're an award-winning jazz singer. I might say, before I meet with people, I like to do a bit of homework. You're a busy guy. I don't want to waste your time. And guess what I found? I was Googling you, and I'm pretty sure it's you, that it's an award-winning jazz singer. Is that accurate?
Wow.
You might say, oh, God, that happens all the time. There's this other Willie Jolley from California. I get confused. Now, in this example, I'm right. But if I state it as fact, I come off a little arrogant. Stated as question, I come off as someone who cares.
Wow.
And then the other thing that's really, really important is just because you know something about another person doesn't mean that you necessarily have to share it. Just because you know it doesn't necessarily mean you have to share it. What do I mean by that? The example I use in my speech is I'll say, hey, you're not going to go up to somebody and say, hey, before I meet with people, I'd like to do a bit of homework. You're a busy guy. I don't want to waste your time. Say, congratulations on the third divorce and the second bankruptcy. You think you'll get it right? You're not going to do that.
Right.
But if I know something about somebody, I don't necessarily have to share that I know it. Let me give you a good example. So I'm meeting with an executive. He loves golf. And I find out, in my research, I talk about how to find somebody's golf score and where they play. Now, I'm not going to, that starts to get into the kind of the freaky. Hey, I see that you've got a 22 handicap at Bear Path Golf Club. That's a little bit freaky.
Right.
But if I knew where you played, Bear Path, and I knew that you loved golf, well, there's going to be a point in the conversation where you say to me something along the lines of, Sam, tell me a little bit about you and what you like to do. Now,
right.
I enjoy golf. I love playing it. I'm really bad at it. So normally I would never bring that up. But because I know you love golf, I might say, well, Willie, I'm as I get older, my kids are both in college. I got a little extra time now. I'm starting to get better at golf. Oh, really? I play golf. Oh, really? And then now you're going to say to me, well, Sam, where do you like to play? Now, I happen to have played Bear Path before. So I'm going to say, well, one of my favorite courses in the Twin Cities is Bear Path. Now, notice I'm always telling the truth.
Right.
So that's key. I'm always telling the truth because people will see if you're not.
Right.
Oh, well, what did you like about Bear Path? Now, you might say, oh, that's my club. I've also done my homework. I know that you're friends with, I know that Sally Jones is also a member of Bear Path.
Right.
And Sally's my friend. So then I'm going to say to you, oh, you're a member of Bear Path, long shot, but do you know Sally Jones? And you might say, well, yeah, Sally and I played in the charity tournament together. Now, again, we're right. We're getting to the line of manipulation. But everything that I'm saying is true.
Right.
I'm genuine about it. Like if I hated golf, you can't use this. Like if I detest golf, I can't go there.
Right.
If I don't like jazz singing, I can't go there. But because I actually am genuinely and authentically interested, what I'm doing is I'm not stating this as fact. I'm not freaking you out that I've spied on you. I'm using what I've found to ask better questions based on what I know that you care about. And that's the key. Because now we're going to engage in a relationship.
And this is how you build relationship, and people do business with people they like and they feel comfortable about and have a relationship with. And that's what you help people do and help them to grow their business. And some of these people go on to create from those relationships multi-million-dollar deals. Multi-million-dollar deals. And that's what we want more of you to be able to generate. If you ask a Bob Johnson, who was the first African-American billionaire, you ask a Steve Case, who was recently on this show, who started AOL, became a billionaire. They both talk about the relationships of the people they met and how they created these relationships. And that's how they were able to create billion-dollar revenue streams. Well, Sam, I the great interviews always go quickly. We got just a couple minutes. Tell people again where they can reach you and the offer. I want you to give them a deal, and you did a beautiful deal. Give that information again, please.
Sure. Just go to www.sam1234.com/WJ. Sam1234.com/WJ. And you log in, you create an account, you get access to the Intel engine, and my Intel reference guide is over on the left-hand side. You can print that. You can share it. You can download it to your computer. I forgot to tell you, along the left-hand side, I also have my digital reputations guide. So that's another thing I speak about. So if sales intelligence is how to ethically spy on people and ethically use the information, digital reputation is what to do if somebody's ethically or unethically spying on you. So I put that guidebook or ebook in there as well. You could download that, print it, and then, of course, I hope you use the Sales Intel Engine to find – the Sales Intel Engine really is designed to do three things. Find the right people, so the decision makers, at the right time. So there's a whole area in there called sales triggers. A sales trigger is what's going on in a company's world where they might actually need your solution today. So how to find the right person at the right time with the right message. How do you ensure that you're relevant to what the other person cares about? So you get all that in the Sales Intel Engine. Again, log in, completely free, download the Intel Guide, download the Reputations Guide, and certainly use the Intel Engine for your next sales call. I guarantee you, if you've got a sales call, use it, you will be shocked. You will be shocked at how you're able to find the information and, more important, use it. Just find a news article, something interesting about the other person. Use it in your opening conversation. You will be shocked at how much more effective the sales call is, but frankly, also how much more fun you're going to have.
Absolutely. Man, oh man, y'all got to try it. We are using it in our office. It's had an incredible impact, and this guy is the real deal. Well, I want to thank Sam Richter. Thank you, Sam, for being on with me, my man. You're just awesome. And best to your family and everybody. And I want to thank all of you for listening and tuning in and for sharing this show with your friends, your family members, telling everybody about it. Continue to go to winwithwillie.com and sign up for my newsletter so that you get updates. Follow me on social media. And then join us on Monday nights, 9 o'clock on Happily Married Monday with the Jollies on Facebook Live, Willie.Jolly, Facebook Live, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So we'll tell you how we've been able to stay married for 36 years, haven't had an argument in 33 years, and the lessons we learned that we put in the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. Our time is up. I want to thank you for yours. You have been an incredible audience. Share this with everybody because we want to change the world and help people to have wealth, health, and wisdom. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show, and for sure, your best is yet to come.
just it ain't going nowhere.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I hope you got something of great value. And I hope that you were inspired, you were motivated, you were empowered, and you were encouraged to live your best life. I hope this information and this inspiration will help you to do more, be more, and to achieve more. That's the goal why I started this program, and I hope it helped you in a mighty way. Now, I ask you to make sure and that you take full advantage of all the resources that came through this program. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/gift and get some of the free resources that we have there for you. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/shop to get some of the books that we have created, that we've labored over to make sure that they will deliver a powerful message to you. I hope you go to williejolly.com/billionaire, williejolly.com/billionaire, or wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get the box that it will inspire your whole family, or get the bag of books. Make this a great day, a great week, a great month. And remember, it is true that you are blessed and all things are possible for them that believe. So make the most of the belief that you have now in your future. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.